I believe everyone is a leader. Everyone. Everyone. The moment that you wake up, you gotta lead yourself out of the bed. That is the hardest thing to do, to lead yourself.
You don't have to read about business to understand how to lead. At the end of the day, you want to read about something you're interested in. The issue is that you should be curious. You don't have to directly be curious about reading business to become more interesting in your business output. Trying to find as much out about the world around you will help. And I think if you can inject your own passion into understanding leadership, that will help. That's what I would do. I'd encourage people to keep reading, keep watching, find other things that would fascinate you.
Can you become a leader even if you're just starting out as an employee? I believe everyone is a leader. Everyone. Everyone. The moment that you wake up, you gotta lead yourself out of the bed. That is the hardest thing to do, to lead yourself. Because we become complacent, we become comfortable. And don't we want that, to be comfortable? That is sometimes our goal. But the thing about comfort is you don't grow, you're not challenged, you become stagnant, your leadership fades, loses its sharpness. What are some leadership principles that you learned there that you still practice today and you teach it from time to time with some people that you mentor?
The first of them is to always remember that you are more often than not, and I think 99% of the time, you're a leader on merit. Somebody somewhere thought you could handle the responsibility. The situation demanded that you were the best person. And a lot of you may think that you're not right for that. A lot of people have doubts. Lots of great leaders do. And actually, one of the first themes is if you're not having doubts, that's when your problems start.
And so the hardest person to lead is yourself. And if you're able to tell yourself to get out of bed earlier than you would like, then that is already a good amount of leadership practiced. Everyone is a leader. That is what I believe in. And that is why we're doing this as well, to improve that leadership skill. So that someday, when you're actually given the baton and the chance to lead other people in your team or organization, you are already a much better leader than you are going to be if you did not tune in, if you did not listen to the advice we give, the books we tell you to read, and so on. How do you identify who's going to be a good leader or who's your potential leader? How do you process these things? Because we make wrong decisions about putting some people in the leadership role and all they want is the title, would be the perks. How do you know who's in it because they want to serve other people?
One of the things we work with teams on in Rebel Culture is around hiring and what your hiring process looks like. Now, all of this stuff, it goes back to culture, right? Your hiring process has to resemble, it has to mirror what it looks like to actually work there. So if your organization values data, your hiring process has to be rife with exercises where the potential leader is using data. If you value feedback, you've got to provide the person with feedback, and you're taking notes on, meticulous notes on how well this person responds to that feedback. I worked with an organization a few years back that valued feedback and coaching above all else. The feedback and their response to it held more weight than the performance task. Everybody did a good job in their performance task. What was of more value was whether folks were nodding heads when we were giving them feedback. Were they taking notes? Were they asking follow-up questions? Were they reflecting on their own work? The folks who did moved much higher and much further in the process than the folks who didn't. So to answer your question, organizations have to hire people. The hiring process has to mirror the culture, and you'll weed folks out right away, or at least many folks.
Habits are the things that we are at the trajectory that we want to be in. One good example is an airplane. If an airplane takes off from one airport and is heading to another airport, point A, point B, if the trajectory of the plane is 1 degree off, it will end up in a whole different city or maybe even a whole different country rather than ending up in its destination. A 1 degree difference can mean a whole new destination. You see, everyone wants to hit the goals that we put in place. All sports teams want to win the championship. But how come only one gets to win and everyone else loses? It's because of the habits that we build. We all have similar goals. You and I, we have similar goals. We want to be financially secure. We want to have a successful network. We want to be seen as a success in our circle of friends. We want to be seen as healthy. But how come for so many of us, that is not the case? The secret to that is your habits, my habits. We have differing habits. How you get to a goal depends on your habits. James Clear says in his book Atomic Habits that we don't rise to the level of our goals. We actually fall to the level of our systems. That is how important systems are for you and me. And our systems are our habits.
What's the secret to my success? Actually, this is in my book, CEO at 22. Secret to my success, it's really quite simple. God, guts, and hard work. You have to have faith in God, keep praying, keep asking Him for help because He's the one who's gonna give you everything. Guts, if you don't have guts, opportunity is gonna pass you by. And yeah, there's nothing that you can do about it. Because you have to have guts to get opportunities and grab them when they pass your way and make sure that you're the one who gets it. Because opportunities will come and go, and when it goes to someone else. And lastly, hard work. Millennials today are smart. Everyone who's younger than millennials, they're smart. So working smart is actually more common now. But working hard is something that's quite rare nowadays. So make sure that you have that hard work, sacrifice for what you really believe in. Those are the 3 secrets I hold to my success.
What are ways to develop young leaders? Encourage them, give them vision, tell them this is the potential future that you're going to be having in your life. And then involve what they are doing alongside you with them. So for example, with my leaders in the team, what I tell them is, this is where SEO Hacker is going. This is where you are. And I believe that you can be this, and that. And I want to be part of your dream life, the life you've dreamed of. And this is my vision for you. What's your vision for yourself? Let's try to marry those together, see what we can do, and see how far we can go. When you have those things, that's very encouraging to young leaders, especially those people who are driven but may not have that big of a vision or that far of a vision. When you give them your vision about themselves and about how you can fit into that and how they can be helped by you and what you do in your company, that gives them the fuel and energy to become bigger than who they are. And a lot of people do need that today because what's circulating around the internet are full of hate, depression, anxiety, problems. It's discouraging. So when people are encouraged, that matters a lot.